Hey everyone, this is George Soto, and you're watching Leadership with Brian Ross. Today we're going to be chatting leadership. Brian, how are you?
George, great. Glad to be with you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for doing this today. You know, we've just been on a mission to help inspire and educate folks on how to be startup founders and entrepreneurs. However, you know, as you and I know, one of the cornerstones of being a successful business owner, whether you're building a tech company or software company or a mom and pop, fruit stand, you really need to be a leader. Really excited about seeing what you have to offer today.
Appreciate that, George. A quick tip of the cap to Chicago, Illinois, home of the Cubs. Got to visit there this past weekend and check out Wrigleyville. It was great. So let's do this.
Absolutely. Well, let's rock and roll. What tips do you have for us today?
Well, we did habit, skills, and leadership. Habit, skills, and attitude. Today we're going to touch on skills. Skills meaning what are some action items that you can take to develop the leadership skills that are paramount to your success in whatever industry that you're in. The first one being follow someone that does it well. So action item one, George, is follow someone that does it well. Sometimes we learn the most by watching others and really people that have that skill set in real time. So just remember, we don't know what we don't know. So the way to do that is just ask. We ask for what you want. You say, hey, I need your help. Here's my situation. I'd love to come spend the day with you. Just observe how you work with and build a relationship with others.
Fantastic. Well, what does that mean to, let's say, a technology founder, right, who's sitting there saying, hey, I don't know how to actually bring this concept, let's say, to others and how to actually build a business? How do I start to kind of sit down and say, all right, if I'm going to implement this tactic, which is learning from someone else who's done it, what do I do? Do I send them an email? Do I try to find out their phone number? Do I show up at their doorstep at home?
You know what? I would, whatever you think is most appropriate. I would say we're always most effective face to face. You can always get in front of your best prospects just by being creative, professional, above board. Obviously, an email or an invitation, an appointment is going to help, but don't be afraid to get out there and ask for what you want.
For us who are kind of scared of getting out there, and so many of us, we sit there, you and I, sold books door to door. And so we got over that pretty quick in terms of knocking on strangers' doors. But for us who are out there who, the idea of reaching out to someone seems like we're trying to bother them or it seems inappropriate within certain societies or cultures. What would you say to those folks about overcoming that fear?
Well, I think it's just a really simple introduction of who you are, what you're doing, how you think they can help make a difference. And then again, just a very simple, I need your help. Here's my situation. And then explain your situation. You'd be amazed at how open-minded people are and willing to help.
Fantastic. Do you have any recommendations around books or motivational speakers that you know of that maybe we can look up on YouTube or, go to Barnes and Nobles or my local bookstore to pick up and learn from?
You bet. So action item 2, George, is read books that invest in yourself. I'll tell you what that means. Your ability to increase your knowledge about leadership and people through reading is paramount to your development as a leader in your field. So we use the term time block to make sure you give yourself the space in your schedule to increase your knowledge. And preferably, you do that in the evening where you can really absorb and process the material for the next day and going forward. So a quick book recommendation from a good friend of mine would be Take the Stairs by Mr. Rory Vaden.
Rory Vaden, absolutely. Rory is just doing a great job of spreading the good word. And for the last tip of the day, what should we be focused on?
This is the one that I'm most excited to share with you, George, and that is just jump in and make some mistakes. Just doing it, gives you the opportunity to learn and ultimately be vulnerable to the people that you work with. And that in itself is a leadership skill or quality. So what it means is don't test the water out in the shallow end. jump out in the deep end, have fun with it. This Saturday, I run my first triathlon, and I just read it's better to be 10% undertrained than 1% overtrained. So it just means you're not going to ever be 100%. Get out there and do it. Jump in and make some mistakes.
Brian Ross, love you, man. Looking forward to the next set of tips.
You bet. Have a great night.
Have a great one.